Smile is contagious. Smile is tax-free too. It is heartening to see smiles all around. What makes people smile? What makes people happy? Having a lot of money? Cracking that tough exam? Getting into a good job? Going on a holiday? Spending time with the friends? Undoubtedly, all these can make us happy. As psychologist Abraham Maslow said, we all have met our primary needs. The need to have food, clothing, and shelter. What really makes us happy is the fulfillment of secondary needs. Social recognition, social status, and self-actualization. But there are many people around us who have not met even their primary needs. They have difficulty in smiling the way we do. How will they smile when they don't have food on their plate? How will they smile when they don't have a roof over their head? How will they smile when they don't have proper health care? When they stand in the queue for getting safe drinking water? So early in life, they take all the burden. And they don't have a job. Close to 700 people in the world live in absolute poverty. That is 10% of the world population. They have less than $1.10 per day to live. The price we may pay for a coffee in Starbucks. In India, 22% of people live below poverty line. If you think that way, we know that the poor in the world look at support of the rich for their sustenance. Can 7,000 million people in the world support the balance 700 million in the world? Can 1,027 million people in India give a helping hand to balance 300 million people in India? Let's take the example of India, because India is a miracle. There is no country in the world with such large population, with so much complex heterogeneity. 1,200 castes, 20,000 subcastes, 700 tribes, more than 1,000 sub-tribes, living in 6 lakh villages, speaking 22 languages, 1,500 dialects, diverse tradition, lifestyle, culture, ideas. But India is a miracle. In 1947, when we became independent, only 15% people were literate. Now our literacy is 75%. In 1947, only 1,500 villages had electricity. Now every village in the country has access to electricity. Our food production has increased 5-fold. Our contribution to world GDP was just 3% in 1947. Now it is 8.5%. Yes, India and Indians can make this country socially and economically prosperous. What are our options? Option 1, we can do charity. We all do to the nearby community. Support them, help them. Second option, through non-governmental organizations, a lot of charitable organizations in the country. They do so much of social service. And third, CSR, corporate social responsibility, sponsoring communities and organizations. These are admirable. but they have only very limited impact. To create enduring, sober, permanent, systematic transformation society, we need to have a large entity to step in, an entity like government. For that, government needs large resources. At the current rates, India requires per year 25 lakh crore for its developmental work alone. Out of this, close to 14 lakh crore has to come from income tax. That is like 200 billion US dollars. When you hear about taxes, there is an unpleasant feeling. No? If English language speakers all over the world come together to fix the most unpopular word in English language, the tax will top the list. Same is the case in other languages as well. Tax indeed has a very deplorable status. The word generates such a dreadful feel. Anything considered difficult, we call it as taxing. The ominous hate list does not spare even the taxman. Let me ask you, dear friends, how many of you have paid some taxes in the past? Raise your hands. Almost everybody. How many of you paid those taxes happily? Very few. Thank God. At least some of you. I asked this question to 1,000 taxpayers for an empirical study done by me. I asked them, do you think income tax is very essential for the development of the country? They surprised me. Yes, 98% of people told me, yes, income tax is essential for the development of the country. My next question, do you think people pay tax honestly? Very frank answer, no. If we get a chance to evade, even we won't pay. If they are not catching us. So people are hating taxes. If we take historically, if you see, income tax has been evolved in different countries as a response to war, to finance war, to fund war. It always linked with imperialism and colonialism. So historically, people always thought tax is something unjust, something discriminatory. Asked all those 1,000 people, why you hate taxes? What is the reason for that? So they gave me some justification, some excuses, some reasons. I analyzed it, I found, yes, partially true. I analyzed it and I found 10 top reasons. And I found these excuses are no longer true. Let's see that one by one. My tax is not utilized properly. Why should I pay taxes? Just example, take last couple of years in this country. Your taxes made a difference. 7.3 lakh crore was transferred to beneficiaries' bank account. 70 million gas connections were given to the village women. 230 million people get subsidized food grains through 5.33 lakh ration shops in the country. 100 million BPL families brought under medical insurance scheme. 25,000 kilometers of road constructed. 93% of rural households have access to toilet. 2.5 crore people get food grains for ₹1 to ₹3. Created infrastructure, invested for space programs, and spent substantial sum to protect this country from external aggression. And all these have come from the money you paid as taxes. Number two, I do not have any role in tax utilization. How it is utilized? I don't know. Why should I pay tax? Every government department is supposed to bring out an annual report. How much money they got, how they spent that money, in what activities, and what was the result. Annual economic survey gives a general performance report on various sectors. Right to Information Act, the Revolutionary Act. Any citizen of this country can ask any public authority, public organization, government department, what did you do with that money? Which activity you prioritized and why? And Government of India accepts feedback from people. Our duty is to push our feedback, our suggestion to the government departments. Number 3, it is such a hassle to follow the procedures related to tax return. It was true, but no longer. Online filing of tax return takes only a few minutes. There are pre-filled data coming to the columns you don't have to fill up. Tax credits are available online. And there are help desks to guide you in every stage of return filing. Number 3, even if I file my return, I'll be audited and investigated upon. Is it true? Approximately 99.65% returns are accepted without any investigation. Only 0.15% returns are subject to limited scrutiny. On an average, 0.20% returns are subject to complete scrutiny. Only 0.05% cases are surveyed and 0.01% cases are searched. Department and the government trust the taxpayers. Number 5, it is so harassing to interact with officials. Correct? It might be true. Then what is the solution? Don't step into income tax office. No need to visit income tax office now. Assessment can be done online. Whatever details they ask, send online. There is faceless assessment where you don't have to see the tax officer. Tax officer need not see you. And still, there may be some grievances, some harassment. File a complaint through the online grievance portal, and every grievance will be taken care of. Number 6, cases are scrutinized and investigated arbitrarily. Somebody doesn't like me, he sent a petition, so they came and pounced on me. They scrutinized my return. Will it happen? Scrutiny is done only through the aid of technology. Through intelligent data analysis, returns are picked up for scrutiny. Enforcement actions are based on surveillance and collection of credible information and approved by a senior-most officer. And rights of taxpayers are protected. And most important, income tax order is not final. You can challenge that orders in any court of law. Number 7, people around me don't pay, and nothing happens to them. First part may be true. Second part, let's see. All monetary transactions of people are tracked. There is 360-degree profiling of every person's activity. Information come to government. Therefore, concealment is risky. Anytime you will get a notice. So voluntary disclosure is the best way to avoid penalty. And this is our duty to report tax evasion we see around. Number 8, I don't have any benefits out of it, out of filing return and paying taxes. What's the benefit? The most important, you contribute to the quality of life. You get easy loans. You get your visa processed fast. You grow financially when you disclose all your assets and liabilities. No interest, no penalty, no prosecution. You need not fear anything. absolute peace of mind. You will become a proud taxpayer, and you will be recognized by your community, your department, and the country. Number 9, government wastes so much money for tax collection. Is it worth? Only 0.57%. 0.57% is the cost of collection, which is one of the lowest in the world. Number 10, if I pay excess taxes, I have to wait for years to get refund. That's an old story. No longer. 85% of refunds are processed within 60 days. Balance delayed due to data entry errors by us when we file our return, when the TDS statements are filed by the deductor, and certain cases we check for risk analysis and to find out the fraud. All these facts reveal one thing. Income tax is becoming more fair and transparent. Income tax in India is not an economic legislation. Income tax is a social legislation. It provides countries, out of that, barring a dozen countries, every country has income tax. In every country, if every citizen having taxable income pay their taxes due honestly, we can eliminate the poverty in this world. Let us be tax evangelists by persuading others to disclose their income correctly and pay their taxes promptly. That will create more smiles, and pay with a smile and see smiles all around. Thank you.